cheer the team on.
I will not carry ancestral baggage, fearful that if I lay down, there will be no purpose in my life.
I will not do something well that doesn't make me happy.
I will not speak so softly that my voice is not heard.
I will not sit at home while others experience the world.
I will not wear masks to avoid being seen fully or upsetting others.
I will not convince myself that tomorrow will suffice when it comes to following my bliss.
I will not play follow the leader unless I am the leader.
Follow your bliss.
Hello and welcome to Hear Me Roar. Today we're talking about body image, so stay tuned after the break for more. Hello and welcome back to Hear Me Roar. With me today I have Gabriella Al-Shafi, sorry. Okay. So I understand that you studied body image in California?
Yeah, I studied body image as my undergraduate thesis at San Jose State University in California.
Why did you choose to do that?
I have a passion in mental health in general, but I have a lot of passion in body image because a lot of our college students are affected by it.
Okay.
So it's an interest of mine.
Okay, I was just wondering if you could, in your own terms, explain what the term body image means.
So basically, in general terms, body image is the way that you and I see ourselves when we look into the mirror, or any image that we may have in our minds about the way that we look. So it's just perception.
Okay. I know there's a lot of things that can affect it. Could you kind of go into that?
Many things affect body image. A lot of our cultural ideals affect it, our media, our social messages, any messages that we may have from our family, friends, peers. Even our own thoughts affect our body image. The way that we are very highly critical about ourselves, or want to have like a perfect image, can also affect body image.
Where do you think that perfect image comes from?
Our culture, our media, definitely.
What are some of the issues that can come out of people having a low body image?
Body image is a very serious issue because having a negative self-evaluation about yourself can develop like eating disorders, can develop feelings of depressed mood, can develop isolation, low self-esteem, suicidal ideation.
Okay. When we come back from the break, we're going to discuss this more, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Hear Me Roar. We're continuing our conversation with Gabriella about body image. So we mentioned that body image is a serious issue. How serious of an issue is it? Like, because we mentioned that it can affect, people can develop.
Yeah, like I think it's really serious because it can start off like nothing. I mean, it's very normal for you and I to feel a little bit insecure, to feel a little bit self-conscious about the way that we look. But as soon as it starts affecting our daily life, our inability to go out with our friends, our inability to go on a date, our inability to just socialize, go to class, it becomes a serious issue. And like I said, if we emphasize of the way that we look, it can affect the way that we eat, develop a lot of eating disorders, which is very dangerous. We can start feeling really sad and down, enabling us from doing things that we may enjoy. And suicide is very prevalent among a lot of different things, including body image.
How early, especially with young girls, how early can these problems develop or start to develop?
Yeah, it starts really early, and that's really sad to think about, but it can start anywhere from 6, 7 years old. It can start in teenage years. It usually starts when girls and boys are entering puberty, because those are a lot of, during the teenage years, teenagers are so used to thinking about themselves, so that's where these ideations come from.
Okay. Do you have any tips on how to prevent these issues?
Yeah, it's hard to prevent anything, I think, but having a positive self-image is important. Being able to accept, that we have negative thoughts and that we have negative self-evaluation and that it's okay, but overpowering them with more accepting, affirming, and kind thoughts about the way that we look. We have different shapes and sizes, and it's very attractive. So thinking that only one body shape is attractive, that's really unrealistic and really unattainable. So I would answer you by having a more positive self-image.
Okay. If anybody's having issues with their body image that's developing into something serious, where are some places they can they can go to?
I think that if anybody's having body image issues themselves, or is concerned about a roommate, or is concerned about a boyfriend or a girlfriend, the counseling and health services here on campus, we're on 112 Ali Young. It's all complimentary, so they can go there and seek more help and resources.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. That was very helpful. Stay tuned after the break for more.
Claypool Young Art Gallery, located in the center of campus, offers a wide variety of art pieces from various contemporary artists in America. Exhibitions rotate approximately once a month and also host art pieces created by Morehead State University students, allowing art majors to experience the learning process of showcasing their art. Claypool Young Art Gallery. Come on over today and be inspired by aspiring MSU artists.
Welcome back to Hear Me Roar. We wanted to know some of your thoughts on body image, so we went out and asked 5 people. Take a look.
Yes, I do think that the media does give girls and boys to a negative body image.
Most definitely. I mean, you see it in nearly every sort of media outlet we had, be it from web to magazines to TV. I mean, the pressure is a lot, that you have to be, tall, this, that, and the other, so.
Because media wants you to, or everybody, like society wants you to look like you're tall and thin and, really skinny, but in reality, there's like short, chunky people like me. Everybody wants to be a size 2, but a size 2 isn't always healthy. Usually you want to be about a size 9 or 10. And a lot of women in America are usually around the size of a 14.
I think women kind of get more of the idea that they have to look a certain way because of TV shows. Actresses are always, really thin, have this perfect body, and have what everybody considers as what women should look like.
I think they're making changes and strides to fix that now, but I think far too many of the actors and actresses have been so tiny and have gone to such extremes to be so tiny that it makes anybody who is not a size 2 or a size 0 think they are awful looking, because that's not what actors and actresses look like.
I think because you will always be comparing yourself to celebrities and singers and just other people, and then other people will be comparing you to them, and they have money and wealth, and they can get personal trainers and surgeries, and they can make themselves look supernaturally beautiful, and they get so like expensive makeup and treatments, and that's stuff that most people just can't get, and so we can't usually add up to them.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at, like a superhero movie, all these guys are, buff and ripped and have these perfectly toned bodies, and it's near impossible unless you've got the money to be able to do something like that for guys. Guys will strive, to go out and work like that, but it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to look like what they do.
It's a different kind of pressure, and it may not be as overt, but it is still definitely a pressure. I mean, you see it. There's a few physicality issues with men. They definitely have to, you have to be tall, strong, and all that stuff. But it's definitely a lot more internal pressure, I think, with men than it is with women.
Yeah, definitely. I think guys will go. I mean, being a guy myself, I would, look at a skinnier woman before I'd look at a woman who's a little more heavier. But I'd say that's, common nature for most people.
They care, but not. The portrayal of what the media presents is not what most guys are after, in all honesty. They do not want everything that the media portrays that they say they want.
I think that maybe something we could do is just show people that being the way you are is beautiful. There's a lot of songs and stuff like that coming out now about being yourself and how you're fine the way you are. And I feel like if we just keep doing that, and celebrities being less glam might be a better option too.
In general, staying healthy and keeping a good healthy body is more important than figure, because women can look different ways because of different height, different anatomically speaking, different body structures.
I think by promoting healthy eating and healthy ways to lose weight, or just being healthy in general, because you can be average size or bigger and still be healthy. I think promoting those things would help more than anything, because at the end of the day, you don't want someone to starve themselves because they want to look like their favorite actress or actor.
The best idea that I could think of to stop the media from doing this is to make everyone, be conscious about, conscious and honest about, not to say it's to be healthy, not just, and healthy does not mean, you have to be this, perfect, Adonis-like figure, but to be conscious and be, confident in what they are, what they have, and to make the best that they can be rather than the best of what everyone says they should be.
I just ignore the media. I feel like you should be comfortable in your own skin and just tell yourself that you're beautiful every day when you wake up and look in the mirror, because that's what I do. I don't look at magazines and be like, oh, I wish I was thin like her, because I'm never going to be thin, so I don't even really care.
Welcome back. Thanks to everybody who participated in that. Next, we have a music video and interview with Nina Caudle, who is a CVM student here. So here it is.
Those ruby red lips I want to kiss, but hurry for a heart.
I'm Nina Cottle, and I am a senior at Morehead State University, and I have been interested in music since I was a little kid. I guess you could say I've been writing songs since I was probably about 9 years old, because when I was in the 3rd grade, me and a few of my friends started a band called the Hex Girls. The song that I played today is called No Good For Me, and this song, I recently have written it, actually probably a week ago or so, and it's a combination of a few different things that brought me to write this song. I had a friend, the first thing was I had a friend, she come over to my house, she's like down and out because her and her boyfriend are like having problems or breaking up, and you know, I told her that she was beautiful and all this, and I was gonna write her a song. So the very first part of that song where it's describing this woman, which is also very symbolic if you really get down into it, is the start of the song that I wrote for my friend to try to cheer her up a little bit. When you're writing songs, I don't think that it matters if you write it for a girl or a guy or just people in general. Like, I don't think that that should play into how you write songs or how anyone writes songs. It doesn't play into how I write songs. So I just think that lyrics, you know, it's poetry, it's beautiful, it's, you know, it's your expressions, it's how you get your thoughts out onto paper, and then you get to put a little, you know, little music to it, and then that gets people, it gets that ideal stuck in someone's head. And there are several songs that I have that if I can get these kind of ideals or these concepts stuck in people's head, then maybe one day, you know, it'll change something.
Hello and welcome back. That was part of a bigger project about traditional music in Kentucky, so keep a lookout for that. Stay tuned after the break for a conversation with Ricky Nelson about her own body image issues.
Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I have always depended on the kindness of
Stay tuned after the break for more.
Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I have always depended on the kindness of
Lord, what fools these mortals be.
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
I have always depended on the kindness of strangers.
Addison, why are you dressed up like that?
Because you're in a dream, John.
How can you prove that?
Your body's still there.
What?
Wake up and smell the coffee. Java City.
Welcome back. Here with me right now I have Ricky Nelson, a student here. Ricky, you've mentioned to me in the past that you've struggled with your body image.
Yeah.
Could you go into some detail about that?
Well, I went to a small school.
We went to school together.
Yeah,
actually.
we did.
That's fantastic. So everybody knew everybody, but all of the girls there were very much tinier than I was all throughout high school.
Yeah.
And then I got my first job when I was a senior. I know it's a little ways to wait, but
it's better than me.
I was 18. And I had started working at a skating rink, and I started out working at the snack counter. And all that they have there it's candy and fried food. Like you can have French fries or cheese sticks
Nothing
or
healthy.
candy, nothing healthy at all. And I would work 12-hour Saturdays, like 12 noon to midnight, all day. And I would forget to bring a lunch. And so I just ended up snacking all day constantly on all of this junk food. And I gained quite a bit. I gained 15 or 20 pounds. And once I started noticing it, at first I was like, this is okay, this is fine. But then I did theater in high school, and we started doing productions. And we started getting measured for costumes and everything. And when I was getting measured, I was like, oh my goodness, this size is not okay for whatever reason. I thought that all of this weight was not a good idea. And going to school and being in these productions and working every single weekend, I didn't have time to try to figure out an eating schedule, I guess. For some reason, my brain was like, you know what, just stop eating. And so I would just not eat for weeks at a time, and the weight would start to slowly fall off, and it would get easier to not eat the more often that I did it, and nobody noticed. Have you?
Yeah, no, I experienced a very similar thing. I gained quite a bit of weight in middle school for whatever reason, whether it was because I was inactive or I ate too much, I don't know. But I realized about my freshman year of high school that I was bigger than everybody else. I was having trouble finding clothes, and I mean, in reality, I wasn't that overweight. Maybe 15, 20 pounds. But I kept thinking that I'm bigger than everybody else. Everybody's judging me for it. So I just stopped eating. Nobody noticed. So, it was easy, and I continued to not eat for about a year, and I lost about 30 pounds. And I thought at that point, I was like, okay, I look good, but I could still lose more weight. And then for whatever reason, I was just like, you know what, this isn't healthy. So I, started eating again, and I gained back the ton of weight. And I stopped eating again about my senior year of high school.
Yeah, it's weird. Nobody noticed for me either whenever I had started to lose the weight. I guess because it happened so slowly, because I would go for some weeks without eating, and then another week I would eat just so people, I guess I was trying to get people not to notice that I was losing weight.
You go through great lengths to do that, but I'm going to have to stop you there. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation with Ricky about body image. So before the break, you were saying that, nobody noticed and that, it became easier, and can you?
Yeah, and because nobody noticed, And it was easy for me to not eat because my best friend in high school was also not eating, but she had been doing it for way longer than I have. And I had always told her, I felt like a hypocrite because I had always told her, I was like, you know, this is unhealthy. You don't need to be doing this. Like, you need to start eating again. There are better ways. Because she was a cheerleader and she was having like the similar, like where I was in theater and I was feeling too big. She was a cheerleader and was feeling too big. And then I started not eating, and I hate to say it, but we bonded over it and became closer.
Yeah.
And it's scary because I remember when my parents found out, and like when I would try to start eating more, it was harder because it took 2 bites for me to fill up because I wouldn't eat.
Yeah. Well, I like I said, nobody ever noticed, and to this day, I still haven't told my parents. So if they watch this, they're going to find out now. I'm going to get a phone call. But I again, like you said, I felt like a hypocrite because I had known people in middle school who had stopped eating completely, and I was like, like you, I was like, this isn't healthy. You really need to eat. But I did it myself, and for some reason, that was okay to me. But eventually I stopped. It came, I kind of relapsed again, but and now I'm fine. I don't have a problem. I mean, I still have days where I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm so fat. My clothes don't fit right or whatever. But for the most part, I feel, okay.
I feel a lot better now, a lot more confident once you're comfortable with the size that your body is. There's always that little voice in the back of my head that's like, maybe you're a little bit too big and maybe you could just not eat for just a little bit and then you can go back to normal.
Yeah.
But, I'm doing really well with not going back to it, even though it would be so easy, especially being on a college campus and having so much to do. It would be so easy to make the excuse, oh, I'm too busy to eat.
Yeah.
And then you could just not do it. Yeah. But I also noticed when I wouldn't eat, I'd sleep a lot more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it was just, I felt sluggish and I didn't feel good, but I thought that I looked good, and I guess that was all that I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I went through, the same thing. And, and I look at it now and I'm like, okay, I have a younger sister who's in middle school, and, I don't want her to go through that, so I need to set a better thing for her.
Yeah, I have a little sister, a younger sister. She's getting ready to be 11. Wow, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit heavier for her age, but it's because she's so tall. And one time she told me, she came up to me, and she was upset because the kids at school were calling her fat. And I was like, no. I was like, you are beautiful. It's like every size is beautiful, because I didn't want her to do what I did.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for talking to us about that. I know it's a very sensitive subject. So we want to thank everybody for coming on the show today. And if you have any questions or any concerns that you want to talk about, call the Health and Counseling Center at 606-783-2055. That number might have been wrong, so I apologize. Our next show will be about masculinity, so stay tuned for that.